made a visit to my favorite antique thrift store today, and I found this lovely little book. I decided to rescue it to be a junk journal. As you can see, it's got some water damage. It's like missing some of the cover there. It's, you know, it's definitely seen some better days. So whenever I find a book that, you know, I might be a little nervous to tear up, I just remind myself, you know, it's had a good life, and now we're going to give it a second life. So I'm going to gently remove the book block from here so that I can use this as the cover for a journal. I think I'm going to try to get some of that cleaned off there if I can. But it's so pretty, so sweet, and it's the perfect size of my hand there. So I guess it's a little bigger than an A6, maybe, yeah. But it does look to be about 4 by 6. I don't know. Do I have something to measure it? Here. Yeah, a little over 4. Yeah, 6 this way. Can we see that? 6 this way, and 4 1/4. 4 1/4. So it's a perfect little size for my next journal. I just wanted to turn the camera on before I get started. Came with this sweet little tissue. I'm going to use that in the book somehow. See if I can figure out when 1812. So definitely after April, after 1816. Well, that'll be a fun little search that I'll go on. But so excited to play in this and create a little journal for myself out of it. That's over 100 years worth of dirt on there. Tried to get it, but it didn't like getting wet. So I just let it dry, and I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it like that. And I think maybe gonna put a little something over it. I don't know, something to kind of protect what's left of it. Yeah, but it just didn't really want to come off. Okay, let's just start with removing what we can of the there we go. And let's okay. It has been liberated. Now, I want to maybe clean out some of the, oh, that's interesting. What do we have in here for the, look at that. A previous piece of bookbinding material was used. That's fun. Price $2 per something. Wonder what this was. well, it was material used for the book, but the rest of it looks to be in pretty good shape. I'm just going to kind of clean this up here. I'm going to find a way to use this. Put new, inside. Okay. What a fun find. I sure do wish I could know what this was. But it was, obviously used just to hold the book together. Okay. So my thoughts are with the edges here. I have some gold. I've got some of this luster gold, rose gold. And since this has kind of got some silver, I'm thinking what I want to put this around the edges. That might be, that's what I'm thinking. Just, just kind of, I don't know, zhuzh it up a little, right? I also do think I am going to seal this. Put a little sealant on there. Corners have seen better days, but it's over 100 years old, so I think it's in pretty good shape for being 120, maybe 100, almost 130 years old, probably. It was 1895, I think, was when this specific book was published, printed, bound, distributed. I don't know what the word I want to say. This was by this bookseller. Okay, that's better. I feel like I could use, some more. There we go. Yeah. Let's just get all in there. Get all in those little cracks there. And this isn't actually a wax, but I kind of feel like it's sort of, acting as a protective coating. Now this corner, what I may end up doing is putting book corners on there. Not may, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some new corners on there before I'm all done. That'll help it. That'll help it. Hear the fireworks going off. Okay. There we go. Now let's take a look. That looks a little better. There we go. We zhuzhed that up a little bit. Okay. It's back in there. All right. The next thing, what I want to do is kind of, not varnish it, but, kind of put a little bit of a coating on that, because this is kind of, you know, already starting to, some of the stuff wanted to come off if it's used much. So let's just see what we got here. All right, let's let this dry, and then we will come back and take a look at it once it's dry. Wow, this like was so dry. It like sucked it right up. Like, it took no time to dry. I might maybe could put another coat on it. I don't know. We'll see. It looks pretty good. I feel like that's gonna, you know, give it a nice protective coating. And as I was looking at this, I was like, why couldn't I add some more, you know, bring it around the edges a little bit more? But I don't know. I think we'll just leave it like this for now, while I decide what I want to do on the inside. So I definitely need to reinforce this. I think I've gathered the papers that I want to use. So I decided to flip the book, because this was just, I didn't like looking at it. So I'm going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to make the back the front cover, because it feels a little less, you know, less that. And then I've gone through and collected some pages. I've got this book that I got at a recent yard sale that, you know, I want to use. The pages are coming out. I've got a couple of books that have some stuff that I just want to use. So I grabbed a couple of them. And then I've got a lot of Amazon packaging, both the brown and this color. Not really white. Cream beige. So, and then I just went through, you know, stuff. Like, this was an experiment. It never went anywhere. It was just a book page that I collaged and tissue papered over. So I said, you know what, now's the time to use it. Some coffee dyed paper that I've coffee dyed, and it's just sitting in my coffee dyed pile. I kind of folded it to go in there. This was coffee dyed paper that I then jelly printed, and it's just been sitting. So you know what, I started pulling things out. These were actually from the book, so I just used some Amazon paper to, you know, support in the middle. I may go through and put some more there, but another piece of, I think I was using this as a backdrop, and I was making things on it, and I've just kept it. Time to use it. That's what I say. Some sheet music. I just cut it in half. I'm going to make 2 signatures. So I just cut one of these packages to give me kind of a rough, you know, size. I think that's pretty good. They might be a little big, but I figure I can tear things down, you know, because I am going to end up with 2 signatures. So now for this, what I did is, I'm going to have to even that out maybe. I folded it and glued it to make it a little more sturdy. So this is, I just added some glue stick in there and made it a little thicker. I have a couple of these. It's a little bit longer, so I cut the bottom off. Was just in a, got one of those photograph books, or like old yearbooks, and this was in the front. The rest of the pages were all blank, but I said, okay, there was 2 of those. I said, okay, I'll use those. I've got tons of this piano roll music, so I was thinking I might also kind of glue them together just to give it a little extra strength. I don't know if I'll sew it. I kind of like it like that, but it does need a little more stability. The other half of that music. This was a page I made for a Junk Journal July prompt like 3 years ago. And I, put all these flowers and stuff on a page. And I think the prompt was wallpaper. So I was, making my own wallpaper. But then I printed them out on clear sticker paper and made stickers. But I also put it on this. So I need to use it, essentially. It's just been sitting in my pile. This feels like Tomoe River paper, and so, but it looks like I must have pulled it out of the back of one of my books. I don't know. There we go. I've got tons of these bags I need to start using. Some more of that paper. So I decided to kind of like fold it up and make a pocket, and I think it's still a little long, so I may make a side pocket like that. So then we'll have a pocket here. I'd probably decorate that with some fabric or lace, and then same on this side maybe, and then we'll have the pockets there. That's what I'm thinking, and that's what I'm thinking with this. This was a grocery bag, and so I think I thought the same thing. Maybe I could, no, this is the natural fold. Well, anyway, that, and then this was on the cover of a book. It wasn't this one, but I'm trying to figure out, I want to use it, and I don't know if I'll make like a little, maybe like a little glassine envelope or bag. Maybe I'll make like a coin bag. I don't know. I could just put it in there, just as a page in there for the noise, but I haven't decided. So these are all the pages that I am now going to, put together. There's a couple of, and then I'll go through and decide. I'm going to stitch. Oh yeah. Also, I've got some hankies that I want to use in here. I think I'm going to maybe do some flip ups. And then I was thinking about making one with a pocket. So got my work cut out for me, but that's where I'm at right now. And the internet is out here at my place. So I'm just filming, and I can watch YouTube on my phone. So that's what I'm doing. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this is Thursday. It's been out all day. It went out last night. They're working on it. Hopefully it'll be back by Monday, but we'll see. I have already got started, but I thought I'd show you. I made a little template here that is the length of my signatures. And then first I made the dots where I wanted the holes to go with my pen. Then I used the awl to go through it. And then I did the same thing with my book. I started to make a second hole, but through my book. And I did that for both two signatures. I just used this, and I had it on this side, and then I moved it over a little for the second signature. But I've never sewn in a hanky before, and I want to do that here. So this is just a hanky that I have stitched up to make pockets, and I want them to go around both the signatures. And so I started to put a little, and I thought, the best way to do this, I tried to make the holes, is just to stitch it. Now, where did I just set that needle that I just had? There it is. So I'm gonna use this embroidery floss that I have had. I've got a whole bunch that came like this, like a lot, and I found them at a Goodwill once, and so I just bought them. I don't think they were very much, and they sure have lasted me a long time. And so this needle that I'm using is not a really sharp one, but it's perfect for this. It's big enough without being too big. And I don't know about you, but I cannot thread a needle without a needle threader. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I think that's probably plenty. Probably only need about 2.5 for this project, but 2.5 length. Okay, so I'm gonna start on the inside because this is where I want my tails to end up as opposed to the outside. And then I'm going to start it. And then once I get this through, I'm just going to tuck this under here to kind of hold on to it for me so that I can pull it. Okay, so next I'm going to go up here through the hanky and then back in. Okay, that's pretty good. Make sure it's tight. And then now we're going to go all the way through here. Somehow I think I've lost my line up here. Okay, there we go. And then through the hanky. And then back through the book. Now we're going to go back up the center hole. Ooh, if we're lucky, it'll go straight through. And it did. And now make sure that my tails are on each side of the center. So when we tie it, let's set that there. Before I do, I want to make sure that it's, I'm going to give it a little bit of a tug here. I'm just gonna give it a tie. I think, how many times do you tie it? 2 times, 3 times? Are you happy with once? I have always done it 3 times. I don't know why. I'm sure maybe one of the first people I ever watched making a junk journal maybe did it 3 times. I couldn't tell ya. But okay, 1 down. And that looks really cute. There we go. Oh, yes, it looks perfect. So let me clean up this mess and I'll come back. Okay, what I don't have yet is a closure, but that's okay. Something I wanted to do, if this is dry, I used that old book cover dust jacket thing, and I made a little pocket for some more, you know, note paper. It just kind of fits back in there. And I just sealed it on this side to keep them from falling out. And I think what I wanted to do was put them back here and just attach it. Maybe glue it to the back or something. The Fabri-Tac. It works in all kinds of situations, right? And so let's just set that there. Let that dry. Pretty good. You know what? I wonder if I should actually, you know, try to glue this a little bit more, but I think it'll be fine. I can add something there if I want. Okay, so that is good. Now we need a closure. What do we want the closure to be? I wish I could hear ya. Give me some good ideas. I know I have ribbon. I have some sari silk somewhere. Let's see about that. To the top of my shelf. I'm fine. It's fine. I'd like to maybe use something like the blue or green. Ooh, how about the green? since I don't actually see any blue. I mean, no. That's okay. No. Ooh, here's some blue-ish. No, because I don't really want it tie-dye looking. Okay, I think it's gonna be green. See, you should always think about the closure before before you get too far along, because is it something that could go like that? Okay, no, but what if I wanted to, I'm gonna have to clean up. I have such a mess here. What if I wanted to put it here somehow? Like, and then tie it. What if I want to put it there and put like, I mean, I kind of like seeing the spine, but I could use some of that lace, right? Let's see, where is the lace? On the side, like, put that there and then cover it like that. I don't hate it, but I don't really love it. Well, you know what? It's just gonna get some string tied on it for now. And that's it. The closure is gonna be this. Let's see, how much do we need? I'll tie it in a bow. I'm gonna need a little more. Right? Okay. Make a decision and commit to it, right? All right, there we go. That is going to be it for now until I come up with something better. I could maybe, nope. All right, let me clean up this mess and then I will come back for a flip through. This is much better. So it's just gonna have the sari silk tied around it for now, which is fine with me. I love it. So this book I got at my local antique thrift store. Shout out to Jen at Antique Alley. I know her heart breaks a little when I come in there and I'm like, I'm gonna tear this up for a junk journal. And I'm gonna tear your hankies up. But you know what? What I've told her is I'm giving them new life. So they're not just, sitting there being unloved on a shelf. Plus, this one was already pretty stained up. This was the front, kind of torn up. And the pages kind of falling apart. So I feel pretty happy to be giving it new life. And I turned it upside down because I like this for the front. And I'm sure I may put something here. Let's see. Oh, I do have my very own fairy stories. Come on. All right. That might have to go there. The other one is tongue twisters, I guess. All right. This might have to go there. Well, that'll be another day. But I'm liking it. So I just made the little pockets here, and I love the shabby chic of this. Got a little pocket. Let's find something to tuck in. Oh, well, here we can use this card, I guess. We got that pocket, and then we can use this as a pocket. Lots of space for collaging. Now, I didn't close this one down because I thought it could make a good, you know, I could flip out. I could be a little Heidi tuck spot. You know, whatever I want it to be. I hadn't decided. I did go ahead and cut the thumb hole out here. I thought it would be fun to there we go. Maybe, you know, maybe sometimes, you know, it's best to only put the thumb hole on one side, not the other. But there we are. So a little pocket this way. Another little, so this is a little tuck pocket because I folded it up here. And then I thought we could have another little spot there. Another little tuck there, and then I thought it'd be kind of fun to have one there if I wanted. And who knows, I may collage over all this and there won't be any pockets, so I have no idea what I'm gonna do yet. I don't know, is it just me? It's so much fun just putting them together that by the time I'm done, I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. Another little pocket here. But I have so much packaging that I need to use. Pocket there. And then this pocket here. Flip out there. That's the first signature. And then this one, I debated even, I was maybe going to leave this one out because it ended up being so small. But then I thought, you know, I can still put something in there. So it's okay. And then another little pocket here. So I added lace to this because I stitched this hanky on. Give me a little, you know, flip up, and it didn't look pretty on this side. It did not look pretty at all. So I said, let me just add some lace. And I did go ahead and glue that together, but that just means there's a pocket here. This is kind of fun to try this. It's just a couple pieces of Amazon packaging paper, but then there's 2 or 3 pieces of tissue paper inside. It gives a little more, you can maybe see that. And I just stitched them all together because it was just laying around. I needed to throw it away or use it. It's fun. Decided to leave that there because that's a lot of great like writing space or collage space. Yeah, when I first got started, it wasn't looking so good. But you know what? Again, I could cover it with anything if I want. Likely end up being collaged over. Another pocket here. Oh, you know what? I just realized. I put these pages in upside down. You know what? Doesn't matter. Here we are. Here we are. Another flip out. Little lace. And there's plenty of room to put more lace. And what this is this is fabric that I use double-sided. I use carpet tape and just taped it down. And that's what I did up here as well. And then I did stitch over it, but it is not a good idea to stitch where you have carpet tape. It gums up the needle, and it is, yeah, not a good idea. So take it from me. And then in the back, another little pocket here. And then a flip up, this little journal writing spot. This can come out. And this was one of the end pages of the book block here. So I just put that back in there. Just good to put it there. And that's it. That is how my fun little shabby chic journal has come together. And then I will, you know, when I feel like journaling in here, I will. I'm not sure. I will probably have a theme once I figure out what it's going to be. I mean, obviously it's shabby chic, but I'm feeling like a story is starting to come together in my mind for this book. And so I think when I'm working on this, I will be drawing inspiration from the story that's coming to mind. But anyway, thanks for joining me on this fun little creation. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.